had the privilege of seeing an advanced screening of The Flash 2 days before it's released in Australia. I have not one happy word to say about it. Actually, no, that's a lie. I do have a happy word to say about it. Purely because there is 2 cameos that were not revealed in the trailer that I creamed myself for. And I can guarantee you the people behind me were like, oh my freaking god, no way! So those 2 reveals were amazing. That reveal, one of those reveals happens at the very end, just before the end credits. And the other reveal is probably 20 minutes before the movie ends. And both times you're like, oh, yes! Thank you for not ruining those ones. But now here's the problem. I know Ezra Miller has legal problems going on, but I didn't think it would affect the film this badly. If y'all were laughing about how bad Superman's mustache was, you ain't seen nothing yet. The fact that I know that VFX teams and animation teams are overworked and not paid that well, but I didn't think they were paid badly. The film was released 2023. Why do the special effects look like they were released in the 90s or the 80s when technology was still trying to find its footing? The storyline made no sense either. Actually, no, I did understand the storyline, but the fact that The Flash, Barry Allen, even though it's his story, we don't focus on him. And when we do focus on him, it's him trying to reverse the past and getting his mom to survive, which we have seen already in Grant Gustin's Flash. And I don't know, maybe I'm a little too obsessed with Grant Gustin as Barry Allen, which is maybe why I didn't like this. But in saying that, the movie favored the Superman family, so we got Supergirl, we got Superman. Michael Keaton's cameo was pretty underwhelming. I get it that Michael Keaton's, pushing 70? And I get that he can probably not do as much as he used to be able to do, and that 99% of his screen time was just his body double. And don't lie, I can tell the difference between a body double and the actual actor. I've watched enough movies to tell the difference by now. So I get it that body doubles need to be put in sometimes. But when Michael Keaton is on screen, he's pretty much just there for decoration. And the quotes that he uses, we've already seen in his movie when he was Batman. Nothing in The Flash feels new. Nothing in The Flash feels exciting. It is revealed in the trailer. It has already been done in Grant Gustin's Flash. It has already been done in endless other DC films. The fact that DCU and Warner Brothers can look at this movie and show us that The Flash cannot survive on his own is really disappointing. When the fact that you structured this, you sold this as a Flash movie with cameos. A Flash movie that ties back to a nod to the 90s, the 80s. Instead, you took Barry Allen out of the equation and let it favor the super family and their story. General Zod was a waste of a character, and I know the actor who's played that has already said that he felt wasted in the role. The VFX, like I said, are that bad. They are astoundingly horrible. I feel so bad for anybody who had to work on the special effects for this film, because they are going to get crucified by the audience. And now I'm putting this down to the fact that we know the special effects teams don't get the luxury of payments, and we know that they don't get the luxury of care, like almost most departments on film studios or film crews. But oh my god, horrible. Like I said, I don't have a word to explain. Now, I do admit that there is one post-credit scene, but you do have to wait until the very last second of the credits to end to see this scene. And it kind of feels a bit of a letdown, though the person sitting behind me was like, oh, is this what the sequel is going to be about? So we can assume that there's going to be a Flash sequel. I mean, I'm guessing Gunn may have said that there probably is a trilogy to The Flash. Who knows, we'll find out next point. But I really do hope that if we do get a sequel, it's 10 times better. And like I said, I understand Ezra Miller is going through legal battles at the moment. And that may have forced some reshoots, possibly, may have forced some changes, possibly, you know, because why would you want somebody with legal dramas as your lead? You cancelled Batgirl for this atrocity. And now I'm assuming James Gunn can do better. Now I know he obviously didn't direct it, but he is now the head of DCU. I'm going to assume this film wasn't made under him. I do not have one positive word to say. And I doubt anybody that has a review for this film will have a positive word to say. And it is Tuesday night. This comes out on Thursday morning. I will be waiting to see the reviews because I would like to see if I'm the only one who thinks this is a negative film. So, in saying that, God, you really had no hope for Flash when you had to bring in the Justice League, when you had to bring in the Super Family, when you had to bring in Batman cameos. You clearly had no hope for this film in the beginning, didn't you, WB? And it's really disappointing because this could have been something. This could have shown that you could have had a character besides Wonder Woman, besides Superman, besides Batman, carrying the franchise and possibly starting it from fresh. But it just goes to show that you don't have any hope in any other character besides Batman. Okay, so excuse the look, I'm currently at Supernova Day 2. Anyway, so I was scrolling on Facebook while I'm taking a breather, and I saw this post. The director, Andy Muschietti, gave an explanation on why the Flash CGI was bad. Said the idea, of course, is we are in the perspective of the Flash. Everything is distorted in terms of lights and textures. We enter this water world, which is basically being in Barry's POV. It was part of the design, so if it looks a little weird to you, that was intended. I mean, I've seen the Flash. Whether it was Barry's POV or not, it is very jarring to watch because you sit there going, that really throws me out of the film. Like, I had an issue with it. Every complaint, every review I've listened to or read, they've had an issue with it. You can say that it's part of the way we intended all you want, but a lot of fans really didn't like it. Like, I don't know, I mean, that's great that you have an explanation for why the CGI is bad, but honestly, it could have been a lot better. Warner Brothers has the budget. They just refuse to use it sometimes. DC is known for rebooting their franchises, because why the hell not? But like, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of like the piss poor excuse to give for CGI that looks like that. I mean, come on, guys. Whatever. I get it. Whatever. I'm not in the mood to argue. I'm exhausted, but I don't like that explanation. I'm sorry. So now that I have time to decompress, let's talk. Sorry, my phone keeps going off. So when I was taking a breather at Supernova, I saw a very interesting post on Facebook, and I was so fuming that I had to make a video about it, but then I was like, no, I have other things to do and I can't spend time on TikTok. So now that I'm decompressed, let's do this. So, in order for The Flash to get a sequel, it needs to become a box office hit. The script for The Flash sequel is ready and it's written by David Leslie Johnson, McGoldrick, who also did Aquaman, but in order to be made, Ezra Miller's DC film reportedly needs to be surpassed or come close to what the Batman, Robert Pattinson's from last year, grossed 70 million. As of now, the film is on track to open an underwhelming 70 million or less domestically. Warner Brothers hopes it will perform similar to 2018's Aquaman, which opened 67 million, and it ended up surprisingly at 1.14 billion at the worldwide box office. Now here's the thing, like, I'm great that there's a Flash sequel because I would love to see more Flash, but I want him done correctly. Here's another thing. Let's pretend for a moment. Let's pretend that the VFX weren't an issue. Let's pretend that the storyline was a storyline that we could understand from A to Z. That's fine. Let's pretend we actually loved the Flash. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. And by the elephant in the room, I mean the allegations that came by their lead actor, Ezra Miller. Because of what Ezra did, there was an uproar. Now, I don't really know the allegations. I didn't follow all of them the way I probably should have, because I generally don't care about an actor who decides to do those sort of things. But his allegations started a bit before the Flash filming, continued during the Flash filming, and after the Flash filmed. During the first allegation that came to light, every fan petitioned and jumped on petitions in order of saying, let's get rid of Ezra Miller as the Flash, because you don't want a problematic person who is creating physical violence, who is creating kidnapping charges, who's creating domestic charges, who's creating all these charges that would have wiped his career out, right? And I apologize, I just realized I used him pronouns when they were they, them. Apology. But that is the glaring obvious. They left Ezra Miller in the lead. That is why the film isn't doing as well as it's supposed to. Every fan was excited originally to have a Flash movie. Okay, fine, some of us were a bit like gruffy because there was no Grant Gustin because we are accustomed to him. But we were willing to give Ezra a shot because he was already, again, they were in Justice League. But of what they did, their allegations caused the film to fail. So like I said, let's pretend the VFX didn't have an issue. Let's pretend the storyline didn't have an issue. Let's pretend that half the cameos weren't revealed in the trailer, which then ruined the surprise. Okay, fine, not all of them, which is great, but some of them, and the key ones that you wanted to keep secret, like I was excited to see Michael Keaton, but like having him be revealed in the trailer was a bit of a letdown. So I feel like Ezra Miller caused the Flash to take a nosedive quicker than the film would have liked. Okay, so that's my issue with this movie. Okay, yeah, I didn't like the VFX. Yeah, I didn't like the storyline. Yeah, I only liked 2 other cameos. The one where they did the worlds collide and the one at the very end just before the credits. I felt let down that Michael Keaton didn't have a bigger role, even though they drove on the fact that Keaton was going to have a bigger role. But the glaring obvious is Ezra Miller. Okay, like that's the biggest issue. You want your film to cross the line, but because of what Ezra did, a lot of people have already said we are not supporting this film because of their allegations. And this is what I find really funny, because Warner Brothers dropped Johnny Depp. Disney dropped Johnny Depp because of his allegations with domestic abuse. That was one allegation, one person coming forward for one man. How many people have allegedly come forward because of one person? Yet WB kept that person on, knowing full well that fans were already antsy about the fact that these allegations had come to light. So I think they need to take a page out of their own book and go, hey, we had a problematic person with allegations. We dropped them. Let's do the same with this. If you're creating the multiverse in DC, that's great, because I'm guessing DC has a multiverse storyline just like Marvel did. You can reface the Barry Allen with another person. Bring Grant Gustin back if he wants to come back. Bring an unknown actor into the shoes. Okay, like I get that at your end credit scene you showed that there is a door for the sequel, and I would love a sequel. I like The Flash, but there are so many glaring obvious things that could have been done better before the film was even dropped. So I think Warner Brothers and DC shot themselves in the foot without even acknowledging that fans were having an issue while The Flash was in production. So if it doesn't cross its $1 billion mark that it's meant to, then there goes the sequel. There goes unemployment for a lot of film crew who probably need that employment. So, they shot themselves in the foot. That's my only reason behind this.